Hello and welcome to the online classes for Kids Heaven Public School, Charthawal. So, from our NCERT book of Computer Science, grade 11, chapter number 5, Getting Started with Python. The topic today is operators. What are operators in Python? What kind of calculations can we perform using the Python programming language? We shall look at these. So, without much delay, let's move on and begin. What an operator is. So, an operator is used to perform specific mathematical or logical operation on values. Okay? So, when we have different values, for example, numbers, digits, the kind of mathematical and logical calculations that we perform on these values are going to be used using an operator. Now that the values that the operators work on are called operands. Don't be confused. Look at this example here. In the expression 10 plus num means here number, the value 10 and the variable num are operands. Okay? So the operators will work on 10 and num. That is why these are called the operands. And the plus sign is an operator. For example, if we have 2 plus 3, so 2 and 3 are called the operands and the plus sign is called an operator. Python supports several kinds of operators. So in Python programming language, we can use different kind of operators. Some of these operators are arithmetic operators, relational operators, assignment operators, logical operators, identity operators, and membership operators. Now we will look at examples and the kind of operator each one of this is. To begin with, arithmetic operators. Python supports arithmetic operators that are used to perform the 4 basic arithmetic operations as well as modular division, which is also called modulos, floor division and exponentiation. Okay, that is the exponent value. So for the 4 basic operations, the common ones we know, that is addition, 2 plus 3 is equals to 6, subtraction, 4 minus 2 is equals to 2, multiplication, 2 times 3 is equals to 6, and division such as 10 divided by 2 is equals to 5. So these are the 4 basic operations. Apart from this, we also make use of modulo. This divides the operand on the left by the operand on the right and returns the remainder. Okay, now look at this example 13 modulo 5. Now what do? We divide the operand on the left by the operand on the right. So we will have 13 divided by 5. So 5 goes into 13 twice. 5 times 2, which is equals to 10. Now the remainder is 3. So modulus divides and then returns the remainder value. Look at it here, which is 3. Now exponent, you have heard about this. It performs the exponential, which is the power calculation on operands. That is, raise the operand on the left to the power of the operand on the right. For example, we have 3 exponential 4. Normally what we see is, we see this 4 written up here as a superscript. That means we are going to raise 3 to 4 times. We are going to multiply 3 4 times, which is equals to 1. So exponent, modulo and these 4 basic operations are the arithmetic operators in Python programming language. Now the next one is relational operator. Relational operator compares the values of the operands on its either side and determines the relationship among them. Now we have a relational operator. Relational, that means something that joins. Okay, so we will have two operands or more in every calculation. So for example, if we have 2 plus 3 is equal to, now we have 2 plus 3, we are going to calculate both the 2 and 3. Okay, and whatever the value will be, we are going to write it on the other side, that is after the equals to sign. So equals to is in the middle. On one side are the operands and on the other side we have the relationship, that is the result that we are going to receive after performing the operation. So we have equals to, not equals to, greater than. Okay, when we have two numbers, we have 2, then we have the greater than sign 3. then we have the equal to, that are they equal or they are not equal, are they greater than or less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These are relational operators. Next we have the assignment operator. Assignment operator assigns or changes the value of the variable on its left. Okay, so assignment is only going to change the value on the left side. Look at this, equal to assigns value from right side operand to left side operand. Now again, if we have, for example, 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. So the value of the left side are changing and we get the result on the right side. Okay, we do not change the right side, we are only changing the left side because we are performing the operations on the left side. Now look at this, plus and equal to. It adds the value of the right side operand to the left side operand and assigns the result to the left side operand. Now look at this. We have x plus equal to y. Okay, it is the same as x is equal to x plus y. Can you see this? X plus equal to y is the same as x equal to x plus y. We are adding the value of the right side operand to the left side operand. Okay, we are adding y and x, we are adding these two, and then we are assigning the result to x, which is the left side value. This is, for example, 4 plus equal to 3. Okay, 4 plus equal to 3. Now that will be 4 is equals to 4 plus 3. We have the same value, both of these are same. Now minus and equal to, it's this, the minus is the opposite, it is the same way this is done, only that this is done in subtraction. It subtracts the value of right side operand from left side operand and assigns the value to the left side operand. Now it is the same thing, but we are subtracting. X minus equal to y is same as x is equals to x minus y. So if we have x minus y here, 4 minus 2, for example, is equals to 2. So the value of x here will be 2. The value of 4x here will be 4, and this y will also be 2, so that both sides will then be equal. So assignment operator assigns or changes the value of the variable on its left side only. It does not change the value on the right side. Okay. Now logical operators. There are normally only 3 logical operators supported by Python. This is AND, OR, and NOT. And they are always written in lowercase, that is in small alphabets. We do not write them in capital letters. In Python programming language, I have told you it is case sensitive. If it is given in small, that is lowercase, this is how it will work. If you write A and D in capital or uppercase, it shall not be accepted, the operation will not be performed. So if it is given in lowercase, this is how we are going to use it. So there are only 3 logical operators in Python, AND, OR, NOT. The logical operator evaluates to either true or false based on the logical operands on either sides. Now the logical operators, when we perform operations with this, the answers are either true or false. Okay, depending on the operands. Every value is logically either true or false. So we have only 2 values as the result, which will be true or false. By default, all values are true except none, false, 0, empty collections. Okay, by default, that means normally whenever we have a calculation, all the values are true, but in some cases when it is none, when it is false, when it is 0, or whether it is or if it is an empty collection, only in such cases the value can be false. So for example, if we say number 1 is equals to 10, number 2 is equals to minus 20, then both number 1 and number 2 are logically true. Now let's look at these operators in Python, how they can work. We have the first operator is AND, the operation logical AND. If both the operands are true, then condition becomes true. That is to say, if both the two, look at the operands, number 1 is equals to 10, number 2 is equals to minus 20. So the Boolean value for this, true or false is called Boolean value. So if both of them are true, okay, then the condition becomes true. Now for the OR, logical OR, if any 2 operands are true, then the condition becomes true. Okay, so if we have any one of the operands, we always have 2 operands. So if one of them is true, then the condition becomes true. Now we have the third one, not, logical not. It is used to reverse the logical state of its operand. When it isn't true, we make it false, and when it is false, we make it a true. So logical not is used to reverse the logical operation. Now the next type of operator is identity operator. Identity operators are used to determine whether the value of a variable is of a certain type or not. Identity operators can also be used to determine whether two variables are referring to the same object or not. There are two identity operators. So in identity operators we have is and is not. That means that either they are of certain type or they are not of the certain type. Let us understand it. The first one is. Evaluates true if the variables on either side of the operator point towards the same memory location, and false otherwise. That is to say, if we have two variables, okay, the result will be true only if the variables on both sides point towards the same memory location. That is, they are both of the certain type. They are both the same kind of variables. Look at the example here. We have number 1 as 5. So when we type it, it is an integer value. I have told you the type of variables and integer values. We have the data type. 5 is an integer. Okay. So this is type number 1. Now number 2 is equals to number 1. Is that correct? Because the ID, the same memory location we have here. Look at this memory location. Look at this memory location. So both the two variables are pointing towards the same memory location. Therefore, number 1 is equals to number 2 and the result is true. So when we are using is, if both the variables are pointing towards the same, that is they are of the certain type, then the value is true. Now when we have is not, this evaluates to false if the variables on either side of the operator point to the same memory location, and true otherwise. That is, variable 1 is not variable 2. It results to true if the ID of variable 1 is not equal to ID of variable 2. That is the opposite of this. Okay. The result will be false if the variables on either side, okay, they don't point. We have to understand that the variables will be equal to each other unless they are of the same kind. That is, they are going to the same memory location. But if the memory location, that is where the values will be stored, if they are not the same, that means the evaluation will be false, and that is not operator for identity operators. So there are only two types of identity operators, is not. Okay. Next we have the membership operators. Now membership operators are used to check if a value is a member of the given sequence or not. Now when we have something that is of the same kind and suddenly we have one number which is different, then that number is not of the sequence. That is what membership operator does. A membership means when we have similar members in a sequence. So membership operator will check whether the member in the sequence is the same or not. So we have in returns true if the variable or value is found in the specified sequence, and false otherwise. So if we have a sequence and the variable or the values in it are the same, then we have the in operator. For example, A is equals to 1, 2, 3. 2 in A is true. Okay. So when we have a sequence of 1, 2, 3, we have 2 which is the same as these ones. Therefore, it is true. Okay. Then we have not in. Returns true if the variable value is not found in the specified sequence, and false otherwise. Now look at the sequence. A is equals to 1, 2, 3. It's ending on 3. 10 not in A. We do not have 10 in this, and that is true. Okay. So we have to first observe what the sequence is, and then we have to see what value is given, whether it is in the sequence or not. If it is in the sequence, it is in. If it is not in the sequence, it is a not in. So this is about the operators in Python programming language. We have seen the different kind of operators. We have the assignment operator, relational operator, the identity operator, membership operator, logical operator, arithmetic operators. We have also seen some various examples and their syntax, how to make use of these operators. Okay, so operators in Python programming language. Thank you.